Hot Honey is having a heyday right now.
So
Hot Honey came out of the
rated.
woodwork and they were just like, we're on everything.
It's so good.
Hot Honey chips, Hot Honey almonds, Hot Honey chicken, Hot Honey toast.
Oh, there's a reason.
Hot
so
Honey.
Good. Hey, Frugal friends. I'm Jen.
I'm Jill.
And I decided to follow a 1950s grocery list for 1 week to see how it would go, because people love to talk about frugality back in the Depression era, 30s, 40s, 50s, kind of seeing it as this golden age of frugality. And I wanted to see, is it really that different? Is it the hype? Is it what we should be focused on? And I learned some things.
I love that you chose to do this in the summertime and that the she you're referring to in the title is you.
Yeah.
She tried. Yeah, Jen tried it. It's
She
her.
did. She did try it, and she learned some things. So I'm going to share what I did, how it went, and the experiences that I'm taking forward with me. And if you get the friend letter, which is our weekly newsletter, we're going to include this grocery list and meal plan in there. We'll include it in, obviously, if you're already on the list, you'll get it today. And we'll send it out in the next one too. So head to frugalfriendspodcast.com to get that. But yeah, so you won't have to like feverishly write it down as I'm talking about it.
Mm-hmm. But first, this episode is brought to you by Domesticated. You know what this is. This is we're pampered for the house. We're here for the indoor stuff. We're tamed from the wild.
Give me the HVAC.
But give me the no bugs. give me the floofy pillows.
As little humidity as possible.
But if you don't feel tamed from the wilds and you're a little bit loosey-goosey all over the place, you don't feel that domesticated.
You're a little wild thornberry over here.
You need to be, because your foraging skills are not there, because we have not been cave women for a very long time.
Is that mushroom toxic?
You should get our meal planner. We're launching a new product because
today
we love to do that for you all. We love to solve the problems that you're having with low-cost solutions like this meal planner. So with it, you get everything you need to keep your meal planning and prepping organized. There's a favorite recipe tracker, pantry, fridge, and freezer trackers, measurement conversion sheets, which you know we need that because I don't know what's happening, but the UK is popping off with their recipes. And I don't understand what all of their measurements mean. Or if you just need to kind of change out how much you're doing, you're doubling the recipe, whatever it is. Okay, has that. And our favorite 1,000 meal ideas.
I know. Could we have put more in there? No.
But wait, there's more. Suddenly you're watching QVC. You'll also get a copy of Jen's book, a whole book with this, Meal Planning on a Budget, absolutely free. If all of this is sounding too good to be true, it's not. frugalfriendspodcast.com/meal planner. Check it out. And if you're subscribed to the friend letter, which we already talked about, if you need to be, frugalfriendspodcast.com, or click the link in the show notes or on YouTube. It is our weekly newsletter. And in that newsletter, you're going to find a code for 50% off.
Again, we'll put it in the next
every
one
Tuesday,
too.
Every Friday. This is the tool you need, especially for meal planning.
This is the end. This is the trifecta of spreadsheets. This is our last one. We started with our budget planner. We moved on to our annual finance planner that pretty much is a life, inventory dashboard. And then now we have the meal planner. And this is it. This is all you need. And we are so excited about it.
And of course, obviously, eventually we're going to have a bundle.
Eventually.
Someday we're going to be able to bundle that stuff and you're going to love it.
But it won't be less than 50% off. So the code in the friend letters.
You're going to want the meal planner now.
Yeah.
Okay, Jen, why in the world did you do this? Why did you decide I'm going to do a 1950s meal?
It is because this is what people want. And I can't say for certain like our audience. So let me know in the comments if you were like, actually didn't want this.
but I'm here anyway.
Right. Thank you. But I look at YouTube a lot just to do research. Like, what are people on this platform looking for? Because I can't do that on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. There is no capability to do that. But there is a lot of uh, research that can be done on popularity on YouTube. So I was finding a lot of people are interested in 1950s uh, sewing and fashion, creating things, 1950s kitchen, 1950s like daily routine, stuff like
Mm.
that. And I think part of it maybe was like trad wives are really popular. And I don't want to say like, oh, this is all popular because of frugality. It's probably not. But it is when we search for frugality, people are always looking for extreme frugality. How can I save as much and be as stingy as possible? And so a lot of that comes down to kind of 1920s, 1930s, 40s, all the way up to the 50s, where frugality was still seen as a virtue.
Mhm.
It was up, I think, through the 50s where frugality was truly seen as a virtue. And so, how, again, we want to bring frugality back as being a virtue for a modern era. So, I wanted to see, like, how can we integrate the best of both worlds from the 50s, from this modern age, and and what can be done if any.
Yeah. So a couple of facts just about what we're even talking about here. So in 1950, the average weekly grocery bill for a family of 4 was around $25 to $30. Sounds amazing, right? But then, adjusted to today's dollars, that's about $300 to $350 a week for a family of 4.
Mm-hmm.
Which actually doesn't sound that inexpensive.
Right.
And roughly 15 to 20% of food costs were for meals consumed away from home. So this has changed a ton. Restaurants, cafeterias, drugstore lunches in 1955. So primarily eating at home is what we can read to that. So that
Mm-hmm.
translates to about $2 to $4 per week for the whole family, which is about $90 to $120 a week in today's money. So only that amount being spent on eating out weekly.
Yeah. So, and in the 50s, most food was eaten at home, about 75%. But they were often cooked by stay-at-home moms. So I had to
Yeah.
kind of alter some of this stuff a bit. Now, over the summer, I was kind of a stay-at-home mom. I stayed at home, but I also had a job. So I had to work from home as well. So I did alter it a little. That's where bringing like the modern, like living and amenities that we enjoy, I wanted to combine.
Mhm.
Today, about 50% of food spending is on meals at home. And so this was also an experiment to see like how could we eat at home more. So we in our family, if you heard me talk about like my feral toddler, we do eat 75% of our meals at home. So there wasn't a big change, but I found with inflation that these averages are pretty similar to the averages that we see today. Um, and I don't know about like for family size, but 3 to 350 a week
Mhm.
for groceries sounds about right.
Yeah, or maybe even slightly more than what some people are spending for a
Right. And
family
so,
of
but that
4.
was for like 75% of your meals at
Is at
home. And
home.
now
That's
it's for
true.
50%.
That's true.
So, but we're
Okay.
also wasting a lot more food.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was just like, what I found in peripheral research. And yeah.
So what did this involve, this little experiment that you did?
All right. So let's get into the grocery list and the meal
Mm.
plan. So for the 1950s, most people would shop once a week, whereas today we're seeing people shopping multiple times a week at the grocery store. So there were obviously fewer processed foods. So trying to maybe put a higher emphasis on that this week. I already only do a single weekly shopping trip, but it's on my phone, on my Walmart app, and I get it delivered. So that's different. But that's one of those like work at home mom things that I had to change. And they had a stronger reliance on seasonality, pantry staples, and home skills like baking and preserving. And I have no home skills. So you'll notice there was no baking or preserving this week. But I did try to incorporate a little more seasonality and pantry staples. All right. So this is what I got most of these. I'll let you know if I change something out based on preference or avoid it altogether. So for meat and protein, we've got a pound of ground beef, 1 whole chicken, which I buy chicken breasts in bulk from Costco. Same with ground beef. So some of the stuff I already had, so I didn't have to buy. So instead of a whole chicken, I'm using chicken breasts. 1 to 2 pounds of pork chops or roast. I use pork tenderloin and I did not do a roast. So I just had ground beef, chicken breast, and pork tenderloin. Bacon or salt pork. Bacon I already had. Canned tuna or salmon. I did neither of those things.
For casseroles,
That's
of
what
course.
it says. And I did neither of those things. A dozen eggs, got that. We do eggs a lot. And then cheese. I say cheddar or American slices. And I had shredded cheddar. So that's what I got. Dairy, gallon of milk, got it. Butter, yes. Cottage cheese, yes. And then evaporated or powdered milk for recipes, did not get that.
Recipes don't really use that anymore.
No. For bread, we got white sandwich bread. Yes. And that I use for my kids. I actually get tortillas because I really like to make everything a wrap.
Yeah.
I do love to just wrap things
it up.
So that's for me. Flour, sugar, oats, rice, pasta. Had all those. And then saltine crackers.
I love that. Of course you need saltine crackers.
Those. But I actually do have crackers. I have the almond crackers from Simple Mills. Those were on sale at Costco, and I love those. I only get them when they're on sale, though. So I just happen to have crackers.
This list does feel very simple. It does feel very 1950s housewife.
And I think that's I think that's one of its like virtues is that it is so simple.
And it feels like going to my grandmother's house.
We overcomplicate our grocery lists a lot. And I think that's where some overspending comes in.
Okay.
So for produce, we've got potatoes, onions, carrots, apples or bananas. I got bananas. Cabbage or a lettuce. I got lettuce. But I do have sauerkraut in the fridge. So I think that counts. And then canned fruits or vegetables. I don't do canned, I do frozen. So I have a lot of frozen fruits and vegetables already. But everything else, actually, I did not get carrots. I did get a bag of pre-made lettuce salad mix that had some carrots already in it. So that is what I did for my salads. And then the pantry staples. Coffee, baking powder, soda, salt, pepper, vinegar, canned soups. Also didn't do that, but it's summer, so it's not soup time. Tomato paste. I like to get the tomato paste that's in the tube instead of the can. Lasts longer. It's easier to use. And then shortening or lard. Did not get that, but I have some oil at home.
Nice.
And then treats. Jell-O mix, cocoa powder, cake mix, and soda or Kool-Aid occasionally. I have pudding mixes because I got a Ninja Creamy and I put pudding mixes in there to, it makes it kind of, gets the ice cream consistency better.
Oh, yum.
Whatever chemicals are in there. And I have cocoa powder, but I didn't bake. I didn't bake anything.
Yeah.
Make cakes or pies or
I think that's
or
something
Kool-Aids.
we've moved away from, like being used to a dessert after dinner.
That was something.
Do that.
Yeah, no. Well, here's the thing. I don't do it because I have no self-control. And if the dessert is there, I will eat it. I will not wait. I'll just eat it all the time, all day. And so the cake will last a day.
Yeah.
So I don't bake. So And then, okay, again, on the shopping routine, once a week, usually on Friday or Saturday, I get my groceries delivered either on Saturday or Sunday because Sunday is the day I do most of my meal prepping. One local grocery store, butcher, and maybe a bakery. Mine's all Walmart. Brought a handwritten list and cash. Uh, Mine's all digital. Heavy focus on cooking
So
from
you
scratch.
didn't do it fully.
No, and that's the thing. I wanted to see how we could
How?
merge
Yeah.
the past and the present. That was the true test. Is staying as true to the 1950s routine as possible, but knowing I've got limitations. I'm not one of these extreme YouTubers or influencers that's going to go extreme for show. I'm just not going to do it because this is my life and I want to live it how I want to live it. They have a heavy focus on cooking from scratch and planning ahead. Obviously, I love planning ahead. I needed to take some of the prep away from cooking from scratch. So I did make like my own sauces and cooked a lot of stuff from scratch, but like frozen vegetables are all pre-chopped. And so that was something I did. I got a bag of frozen onions that were pre-chopped because I would normally do that myself, but I just didn't have time. No delivery or convenience foods, which we don't really have. No, we didn't have like any delivery besides the groceries. And then home gardens often supplemented the list. And here's the thing, I do have an herb garden, but it is August and she's sick on her. She's not here right now. She'll be back later. So, all right.
She's on her own summer break.
She's on her own summer break. Okay, so let's get into the actual meal plan that I did and how I customized it. And this is what surprised me most. Was that this meal plan looks shockingly similar to what I do every week already. But I'm
Wow.
looking for just variations on everything.
Yeah.
And that is, they didn't have as many options to find variations and they didn't have as much exposure to different cultures to get, these variations. So we see a picture of the 1950s and it's always the same roast chicken. It's always the same vegetables. We go to grandma's house and it's always the same thing. In reality, we are making the same things now that they made then. We just got different spices and cooking methods and combinations of side dishes.
And we aren't making Jello molds.
Okay, we aren't making
really
Jello
anymore.
molds. My mother-in-law did make Jello
bakes.
last time I was over there,
Yeah.
but I'm not.
Nice.
So yeah. And then the dessert thing. We're not making dessert.
Yeah.
So breakfasts. They would usually do scrambled eggs, toast with butter, oatmeal or cold cereal, and then coffee or milk. So what I did was I did oatmeal 3 or 4 days, and it was just overnight oats. So instead of a hot oatmeal like you would see in the 50s, it was a cold oatmeal. And I think I did, I think that was like with chocolate protein powder and some raspberries, maybe some mini chocolate chips. And then I did an egg scramble, like not a scramble, but an egg bake where I scrambled everything up, threw it in a casserole, and then baked it and cut it up for different days. So
that's something I gotta do.
I actually had the last one of those this morning.
Yeah.
And it was very good. So sweet potato and spinach, both frozen and pre-chopped, with some chicken sausage, sauteed. And then I mixed up a couple eggs with some egg whites and put the cooked sausage and potatoes in the casserole, obviously oiled, and then put the egg on top. I didn't do any cheese. There was some paprika and garlic and salt in the eggs. So good. Yeah. So yeah, it's same idea, just different way to cook it. For lunch, They would do like tuna salad sandwich, grilled cheese sandwich, egg salad sandwich, leftover meat sandwich.
This is
A lot of
my lunch.
sandwiches. Yeah.
Yes.
Macaroni and cheese, PB&J, or just like a deconstructed sandwich, which cheese, bread.
Basically charcuterie,
Yeah.
but they didn't call it that probably.
Yeah. So what I did is I did 2 different kinds of wraps. And I would do either a turkey wrap, so turkey lunch meat with some of that salad mix. I would use the salad mix for salad, but then I also use the mix in my wraps. And then light ranch dressing, just like a drizzle.
Mhm.
And that was my lunch.
Yum.
Yum. Or I would replace the turkey with spicy chicken tenders that I buy in bulk from Costco.
Mhm. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I love those.
Ugh, we love
Spicy,
Costco.
two spicy chicken tenders with some lettuce and ranch in a wrap. As so good.
I'm getting very hungry.
Well, yeah, it's almost lunchtime for us. We're recording this before lunch. And so yeah, so those were my sandwiches for lunch. And then we get into dinner, which is everyone's question, what's for dinner?
Yeah. You guessed it. Meatloaf. Mashed potatoes.
Yes. So this I wanted to do, I'm not a meatloaf girly. So for my beef, what I just did was I just cooked it like regular beef. And I actually used the ingredients I had from the list, and I made this viral beef cottage cheese bowl.
Okay.
And I can't even remember off the top of my head what it is, but I had it's cottage cheese, beef, sweet potatoes, which I already had from the list, and then a hot honey drizzle.
Hot honey is having a heyday right now.
So
Hot honey came out of the
rated.
woodwork and they were just like, we're on everything.
It's so good.
Hot honey chips, hot honey almonds, hot honey chicken, hot honey toast.
Oh, there's a reason.
Hot
so
honey
good.
beef and cottage cheese. Is the cottage cheese hot?
No.
So it's warm beef, cold cottage cheese, hot honey.
And hot sweet potatoes.
Interesting.
It sounds weird, but it's actually really
strange.
delightful.
But I guess cheese, you put cheese on stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I could have added peas. I actually did have peas and I forgot to add them. I'll be fully transparent. I had them and I forgot to put
Did you
them
add Jell-O though? Please tell me you added Jell-O.
Did not add white bread or Jell-O, which is also on the meal plan. Okay, next day is baked chicken, rice, cooked carrots, cottage cheese, and canned fruit. So I just had my cottage cheese with the beef instead. And so this one actually was a chicken fried rice bowl for me.
Okay.
So I had a Japanese barbecue sauce, and I will often look in my fridge and was like, okay, what sauces, what dressings do I got that I need to use up? And so I had that. So I did, and I pre-cooked my rice on Sunday so that I have rice for the week. And it's also like fried rices do better with pre-cooked rice anyway. So I had my chicken and I actually put spices on that and just let it sit in the fridge overnight. Did that, made my rice with the carrots that were actually pre-chopped frozen carrots. I got those too.
Perfect.
And mixed that all up.
Cool.
Actually have the last bit of it for leftovers for lunch today. Okay, so I'll wrap up the meal plan real quick because you'll get a copy of it in the friend letter. But so then was pork chops, potatoes, coleslaw, and biscuits. I did a pork tenderloin and just seasoned it. Spaghetti with meat sauce. Don't gotta do that any differently. And then one was hamburgers, and I did turkey burgers, which are delicious with some fig jam and brie that I already had. And then I skipped the fish cakes because I obviously didn't get, or tuna casserole. I skipped those too, and dessert. But though that was the meal plan, and I had it. It was something I would have made anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So what did you learn? What was surprising?
I think I think for me, what surprised me the most was how people put so much emphasis on the good old days.
Mhm.
They think if we could just get back there, things would be much better. But I think people have not changed. And I think with inflation, our prices, like what we have access to, has advanced in a way that we have like access to eat at home more reasonably. Like everything I bought was pre-chopped and it wasn't super expensive like gourmet stuff. It was just like the dollar bag of carrots in the fridge.
Mhm.
And people want to be perfect and be like, cut your own carrots. It's even cheaper. But you know what? At the end of the day, I don't want to cut carrots. And if it comes down to that or eating out, I'm eating out.
Yeah.
And so we are not much different. I think we have as many, if not more, things to allow us to be frugal and save money as people did back then. They were just kind of forced to use them, and we
Mhm.
have a lot more options.
Well, and I think the 1950s was also kind of the time when convenience was burgeoning and some of the throwaways were starting to happen at this time. And so people, even though this was very simple, it still stands out to me that some of those convenience things were happening. Like the Jello mix was very convenient. The canned veggies, convenient. The white bread in a bag, convenient,
Yeah,
sliced
those were all
for
like
you.
new things. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And so, even going back that far, that's kind of the beginning of some of these hacks that still could be kind of affordable that we can still look for. But that's what stands out to me too is the simplicity of it and the reuse of ingredients, which we do talk about all the time
Yeah.
as
And
how to save on food.
right. And because I've been eating at home a lot, now I can identify more ways to reuse things in different ways. And that has taken a lot of years to kind of
Yeah,
identify what I like, what I don't like, that even a beef bowl with cottage cheese and hot honey would be
yeah.
enjoyable to me, which man, eatingbirdfood.com,
Mm,
that's the website where I got the recipe. And I think it's viral on TikTok, so I'm sure there's other places, but gosh,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and I think dining out less. I think that's a huge one. If we are looking to really find out where can we save, eating at home more and taking that page out of a 1950s book can really help. And again, the meal plans are going to be what really saves us in
Mhm.
that area. So frugalfriendspodcast.com/meal planner.
And that they did eat out in the 50s. They spent
Yeah.
what in today's dollars would be $90 to $120 a week
Yeah.
on eating out. And eating out is so villainized, like
Mhm.
in the, saving money, financial, frugal community. And it's always been done, even when frugality was a virtue and
Mhm.
something positively looked at.
Yeah.
People
There's still
still
room.
ate out
Mm. Do you know what we still do?
and will always be a virtue.
The bill of the week.
That's right. It's time for the best minute of your entire week. Maybe a baby was born and his name is William. Maybe you paid off your mortgage. Maybe your car died and you're happy to not have to pay that bill anymore. Duck bills, Buffalo Bills, Bill Clinton. This is the bill of the week.
Hey, Jen and Jill, this is Maggie from Richmond, Virginia. I just finished the Buying Local episode, and I wanted to say that my favorite bill of the week is the 30-ish plus dollars that I spend on a huge box of produce sourced locally, delivered to my house every week. It is always delicious. I can add other things like meats and cheeses, and I just love that I'm able to help support my local farmers. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Yes, Maggie,
Yay!
this is so great. We love a little local
Mm.
produce delivery box.
Yes, we do.
Mm.
Local.
especially when you get different variety, you never quite know. That's the spontaneity. Oftentimes when we impulse spend, it's because we want the spontaneity. It is kind of a need of ours. And so doing something like this is what can serve a little bit of that dopamine rush of getting a delivery and then being able to get creative with
Mhm.
what's in the box today and what
Yeah.
can I make this week and then shape our meal plan around that. It's a beautiful
Yeah.
thing. Well done.
I don't think there's anything wrong with things like Misfit Markets or Thrive, but like check to see if you've got something local first.
Mhm.
Even if it's the same price, it's worth it to invest in local agriculture. And the smaller the farm, the better. Smaller the farm, the better.
If you've got a bill that you want to share, if it's about supporting local, buying local produce, if it's about your grocery bill, or you're a grocer and your name is Bill, or just your name is Bill, frugalfriendspodcast.com/Bill, leave it for us. And now it's time for
The lightning round. Phew. Okay, your most and least favorite thing about the 1950s grocery list. Jill, you go first. I want to hear your thoughts on it.
I love this concept, and maybe I'm idealizing it, but having a baker and a butcher and a
And
fishmonger.
having the time to go to all these places throughout the week
Yeah,
too.
again, that's the housewife privilege. Is that the word I'm looking for?
I guess it would be a privilege. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
if
mean,
you
to
want
some
that
people.
privilege, yeah. So that feels really nice to me. It feels very in the neighborhood, having someone to go to and be able
The
to get your different
community
cuts.
aspect of it. I
Yeah.
love that.
Which technically at a grocery store, you do have these things. You can talk to the butcher. It's just probably not going to be the same experience
Right.
as kind of what you think of when they talk about
Yeah.
you know your butcher and you're able to ask for specific cuts and you're able to get the different discounts on the things. Like you may or may not be able to speak to a manager of the meat department and get the cut that you want. It's just kind of you shop the meat section and that's
Mhm.
that. But I love that. And I have a love-hate relationship with all the jello and the macaroni and the casseroles.
I do make macaroni. I made macaroni and cheese for my kids
Yeah.
that week, but that's something I do again regularly.
Right.
So like I am a
Not too different.
1950s housewife. That was the most I think I will say again, most shocking thing to me is that I am a 1950s housewife.
Domesticated.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so for me, my most favorite thing about the grocery list, I love the emphasis on desserts. Um, I I love that about the 50s is that they just love desserts. They'd
Yeah.
have desserts a few times a week. They didn't villainize sugar, but I have no self-control. So I did have my creamies, my Ninja creamies. We all sit there and we share the pint between the four of us.
That's cute.
Yeah, it is really adorable. We all have our own spoon.
Wow.
And I feel good about letting my kids have it because it's like high protein,
You
low
know what's
fat.
in it.
Yeah. And
I
they
like
don't get enough
that.
protein in their diets. I know that. So yeah, that feels good. My least favorite thing was the term fish cakes. And I don't hate tuna. Like I actually have tuna in my backpack right now, the jalapeno like tuna pouch.
Yeah.
But something about tuna casserole, tuna cakes,
Tuna
fish.
macaroni.
Yeah, like in things, I like to have it on a cracker.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about like, yeah.
So I
tuna.
hated that, the sound of it.
Yeah. Well,
But to each their own.
if you want more of a deep dive, we've got another video where we talked about how healthy could become toxic, covering skinny talk,
When wellness.
GLP-1s, kind of that whole trend and influencing vibe around health and wellness can kind of take a dark turn.
Yeah.
And how it impacts our spending
And how
as
much
well.
they would hate this grocery list.
Oh, they would
It
absolutely.
would
It
anger
is
them.
not powdered nutrients whatsoever. So, yeah, feel free to cue that one up.
So thank you for listening to my experience. We love reading your reviews of what we say, whether it's in the YouTube comments, on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or on Amazon on our book, Buy What You Love Without Going Broke. And we want to read this one from Jessie about the book. It happens to be 5 stars. It says, refreshing read. Lovely book by Jen and Jill. Really love their podcast. And this book was a refreshing take on values-based spending. I appreciate their approach to shame-free questioning of analyzing our own actions through a psychological lens and coming back to living your values. Great read for someone looking for a fresh take on money.
Love that.
Thank you.
Short and sweet, really kind. Thank you, Jessie. If you have read the book, but you haven't reviewed us, please do so. It really helps us. If you want to get the book, buywhatyoulovebook.com. And also, if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If you're not on YouTube, go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button.
And then leave
us a review on the podcast, just wherever you are. If you could do one free, quick action to support us, we would be so thankful.
Thank you so much. And we will see you next time.
Bye.